Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another legal breaking reporting and video analysis update. Lawyers for the Justice Department who are illegally doing Donald Trump's bidding and retaliating against Letitia James, who is the New York Democratic Attorney General, and others, are getting leverage from Kilmer Armando Abrego Garcia, the 30-year-old Salvadorian national who was erroneously, illegally, unconstitutionally deported to El Salvador this last March, at the beginning of the year. Let's get into these two reportings. That's right, the number two reportings. The first one is by Raw Story. The second one is by The Hill. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, before we start, these two are both read by an automated voice, so we will be taking a look and a read and a listen. Before we begin, ladies and gentlemen,
Hall of Shame,
please...
DOJ lawyer said to face severe consequences for following Trump orders.
Please like the video, comment, share, subscribe. Please help keep the YouTube algorithm up. And yeah, let's get on with these two reportings that I have for you guys.
By David McAfee. Donald Trump's DOJ isn't just facing its prosecutions of Letitia James and James Comey being thrown out, it's also facing its attorneys being disbarred, according to a former Watergate prosecutor. On Sunday, Nick Akerman, a former assistant special Watergate prosecutor and former assistant U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York, suggested that the death knell to the James and Comey cases could be found in a recent decision in favor of Kilmer Abrego Garcia, a Salvadoran migrant who lived in the U.S. legally with a work permit and was erroneously deported to El Salvador. Akerman pointed out that the Abrego Garcia decision might give James and Comey the ammunition they need to beat their cases for vindictive prosecution, but there's more to the story. Because according to the attorney, the DOJ lawyers who pushed these cases could actually face severe consequences, including disbarment. The ultimate outcome of these hearings is not just the dismissal of unfounded indictments ordered by Trump for vindictive political retribution, Akerman wrote. For the lawyers who take part in Trump's revenge tour, the consequences could be quite severe. Induction into the Rudy Giuliani Hall of Shame for disbarred former lawyers who did Trump's illegal bidding. Read the full piece right here.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with that. As reported,
Kilmer Abrego's court victory could end Trump's reign of retaliation. By Nick Akerman, opinion contributor.
This episode is brought to you by Espolón Tequila. Slow, sticky, snoozy. They call these the dog days of summer. But Espolón? They don't do boring. Welcome to the Marg days. Espolón Tequila. 100% blue Weber agave, born to shake up your summer. Just add lime, agave, and a little attitude. Visit EspolónTequila.com. Espolón Tequila, 40% alcohol, volume 80 proof. Copyright 2025 Campari America, New York, New York. Drink responsibly.
President Trump's plans to use the Justice Department to seek revenge against his perceived enemies may have just hit a major roadblock. Earlier this month, Memphis Federal District Court Judge Waverly D. Crenshaw, Jr. issued an opinion in the criminal case against Kilmar Abrigo Garcia, in response to a motion to dismiss for vindictive and selective prosecution. The judge found that the totality of events surrounding the bringing of the Abrigo indictment creates a sufficient evidentiary basis to conclude that there is a realistic likelihood of vindictiveness, entitling him to discovery and an evidentiary hearing before his motion is decided. This decision has wide-ranging ramifications. It is likely the death knell of the indictments against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James, a Democrat, as well as other perceived enemies whom Trump has threatened for prosecution solely for political revenge. Trump's enemies list includes Senator Adam Schiff, Democrat from California, and former CIA Director John Brennan. Abrigo is the Salvadoran immigrant the government mistakenly sent to the notorious CECOT prison in El Salvador. After his lawyers obtained an injunction from the Supreme Court to facilitate his return to the U.S., the government relentlessly went after him, indicting him on human trafficking charges based on a traffic stop in November 2022. Abrigo contended that his prosecution was in retaliation for exercising his constitutional and statutory rights to sue the government. His lawsuit challenged his deportation to El Salvador through a federal civil action in federal district court in Maryland. The court based its findings in part on the stunning admission of Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who told Fox News that the government had started looking into Abrigo after a Maryland judge raised questions about the government's case and found that it had no right to deport him and was doing something wrong. Additionally, the court found that the timing of Abrigo's indictment supports his assertion that the executive branch may have induced the U.S. attorney to criminally charge Abrigo in retaliation for his Maryland lawsuit and for successfully obtaining an injunction from the Supreme Court directing the government to facilitate his return to the U.S. from El Salvador. The court found that only days after the Supreme Court's decision, the government reopened its investigation into Abrigo, and 10 days after that, Abrigo was indicted. It also relied on the years-long delay between the traffic stop and the indictment. The 903 days was notably longer than all of the criminal cases in the Sixth Circuit involving a traffic stop over a 15-year period. The significant outcome of this decision is that Abrigo is now entitled to take discovery and present that evidence at a public hearing. The discovery ordered by the court will be focused on what motivated the actual decision-makers who directed and approved his indictment. Abrigo can depose the Assistant U.S. Attorney Ben Schrader, who resigned on the day the grand jury returned the indictment, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, and others in the Justice Department, and the Memphis U.S. Attorney's Office who have knowledge of the reasons for filing the indictment. He can also subpoena documents relating to the decision to prosecute him. This highly unusual opportunity for Abrigo to pull back the curtain in a public hearing is likely to be highly embarrassing to the Justice Department and the White House. There is a direct line from Crenshaw's opinion to the Comey and James indictments, which are also vindictive prosecutions. Exhibit A will be Trump's September 20th Truth Social post asking Bondi not to delay any longer against Comey, Schiff, and James. There is also a litany of Trump statements over the years, designating Comey and James as two of his chief political enemies. Those statements, coupled with the events leading up to the Comey and James indictments, reek of vindictiveness. When Trump's hand-picked U.S. attorney in the Eastern District of Virginia, Erik Siebert, and others in the office refused to seek an indictment against Comey and James, Trump forced him out. To ensure that Comey and James would be indicted, Trump appointed a new U.S. attorney, Lindsay Halligan, who blindly followed Trump's orders to indict. Halligan, an insurance lawyer, was never a prosecutor, has no understanding of federal criminal law, and is clueless about how to formulate federal criminal charges. Based on the judge's reasoning, Comey and James should be able to pursue a highly aggressive defense and take testimony from all those who participated in or are knowledgeable about the bogus decision to indict them, subpoena relevant documents, and present the results in a public hearing. The ultimate outcome of these hearings is not just the dismissal of unfounded indictments ordered by Trump for vindictive political retribution. For the lawyers who take part in Trump's revenge tour, the consequences could be quite severe. Induction into the Rudy Giuliani Hall of Shame for disbarred former lawyers who did Trump's illegal bidding. Nick Akerman, a former assistant special Watergate prosecutor and a former assistant U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York, is an attorney in New York City.
Attention law enforcement. You took an oath to protect and serve. To keep your family, your...
Well, ladies and gentlemen, looks like more people are at risk of rightfully losing and being disbarred. Especially Pam Bondi. You dumb broad. Dumb broad. For doing illegal, unconstitutional prosecutions. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this legal breaking reporting video analysis update. If you did enjoy this legal breaking reporting video analysis update, please firstly like, comment, share, subscribe, and enjoy. If you guys want to make sure you guys are always up to date, please follow me on my social medias that'll be linked down below. You guys can also do so by hitting the bell icon. It does not cost anything. There's no paywall, no nothing. The bell icon is located directly beneath the screen here on the right hand side of the subscribe button. You guys can also do so and show your support by helping me reach and achieve the goal of 300 plus subscribers, 300 plus subscribers. The reason, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I'm saying 300 subscribers plus is because right after we reach and achieve the goal of 300 subscribers plus, we have more subscribers to reach and achieve right after we reach and achieve the goal of 300 subscribers. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to do it for this legal breaking reporting video analysis update. If you did enjoy this legal breaking reporting video analysis update, please keep an eye out for my next legal breaking reporting video analysis update. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon.